And this is actually where I work. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey everybody, Merry Christmas! My name is Mr. X and welcome to my office. Here at the Extreme channel, if you can't tell, we are all about extreme collectibles. So much so that the collectibles, especially high-end statues, have overrun my office. On this Christmas Day 2021, we are going to do a detailed office tour. While I've done one before for you guys, about 60% of the stuff has changed, so I'm ecstatic to show you. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to check out the Extreme channel's social media sites. There's a link in the description below for Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, if you like what you see, this is probably only about 10 to 20% of my collection. Make sure you've not only liked this video, but you've subscribed to the channel and you've hit that bell notification. Because in the next few months, I'm going to show you a tour of my home. And just like The Office, about 60 to 70% of that collection has also changed. So with that, let's look at some cool ass shit. All right, as we come in, guys, first we're going to do an overview of the entire collection. Look at the different themes that we have lined up. This is far from complete. There's a lot of things I want to change with some of the lighting and even some of the wires that are showing. Secondly, there are some empty spots. So as we look at those empty spots, I will show you what I plan to put there. So let's start with the horror genre over here. Horror and some other sci-fi movie related stuff as you walk into the office. And then through the door, we proceed to Predator and Alien. Very excited about this display. It used to be displayed at home, and as you can see, a few spots for some cool stuff coming in. Then we move to a giant Venom wall, one of my favorite characters. A lot of symbiote-related stuff. We move on to Spidey and all of his villains. A little Spawn display. Then Berserk. Some NBA Jam. Some more anime. Everything from One Punch Man to Dragon Ball Z. We have some dinosaurs. And back again. So as we dive into these individual pieces, I'll be kind of brief and we'll talk a little bit about each one. All right, up here we have our werewolves. I'm a big werewolf fan. Was kind of my favorite horror monster growing up. This first one is a custom. It means it was a private commission. Now, werewolves don't necessarily need to be licensed because it's just their own creation. The one behind it is licensed. So this is by Pop Culture Shock Toys, or now called PCS. This is from my favorite werewolf movie, The Howling. These are all 1/4 scale, so 4 times larger than a real life version. Here you have from Dream Figures, their lichen that has completely destroyed a city. I have another piece from them you're going to see very, very shortly. Behind there, by First 4 Figures, we have Sif from Dark Souls video game. And PCS in front has the American Werewolf in London. Awesome flick. Next to it, we have also by Dream Figures, this is a mummy statue. So similar to the werewolf we talked about earlier, it's not licensed, but it's not unlicensed because it's just the mummy in the concept. You see 2 of them because one of them actually broke and they had to send me a new piece. Then from another video game, kind of horror right here, we have Mimic. Now, I've never actually played Dark Souls, but it's a pretty cool piece. Now moving down over here from Elite Creature Collectibles, we have the Reaper from Blade 2. Now, he will eventually go down below this shelf, and where he's at, we're going to put this piece I'm superimposing. This is Balrog vs. Gandalf from Prime 1 Studio. But for now, this ECC Reaper piece is next to Marcus and Lycan. So these are all 1/3 scale, so a little bit bigger than the 1/4 scale. Elite Creature Collectibles. These are amazing pieces. I apologize for the lights. They really aren't flickering. They just do that within this video. Kind of gives it a cool effect though. And if you want more information on any of these pieces, 99% of them, I have detailed videos for that specific piece. We move over into the classic horror icons. Sideshow Collectibles, Jason. I believe this is from Jason 3. We have Freddy. These are all 1/4 scale. Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And a custom Michael Myers. So this is an unlicensed. It's a private commission. It was not approved by who owns the rights to Michael Myers. Then we have a little Pennywise setup here. So you have 3 half-scale portraits. These busts are from Prime 1 Studio, and these are amazing. Again, check out the individual videos because we don't have time to go through them all. Now I know his collar is upside down on this piece because I actually got a bad version, but I kind of like it that way. Then in the middle you have by Tweeterhead, this 1/5 scale statue. As we move below, still movie pieces. So first we have Blitzway made this Rocky 2 with Butt Kiss down there. Sideshow Collectibles old Conan premium format. Sideshow Terminator 2 Arnold. Sideshow Rocketeer. When I say Sideshow, that's the name of the company that produced and manufactured this. And then a busted up custom RoboCop. So this was actually the most broken statue I've ever received. Definitely check out that video. Next to him, we have Blade, Wesley Snipes. This is a custom Daywalker, one of my favorite pieces. Now, most of these statues have tons of display options, so different portraits, different arms you can attach. Behind that, we have a custom Graboid from Tremors. A custom Crow statue. These are all 1/4 scale. And then we have Sideshow's Lord of Darkness from Legend, the exclusive version. And then next to him, Sideshow's half-scale Meg Mucklebones, also from Legend. Now, in the description below, I'll have some links to another video that talks about the shelving and the lighting that I use. Moving over here, we have Prime 1 Studio, the name of the company that made this, Mosasaurus. So this is from Jurassic World. Amazing piece. From the water effect to the scales. And at work, I am the boss. We like to have a lot of fun, so we play games like this during a meeting. Go ahead and pause that because some of those are hilarious. We move over to some other dinosaur pieces. This is my most recent acquisition as of filming this. This is from Iron Studios. Now this dinosaur over here is 1/15 scale, and so is everything that I have coming in. This one is 1/10, so that means it's actually bigger. Then you have the Tyrannosaurus from Prime 1 Studios, also 1/15 scale. Next to him, we are going to put the Prime 1 Studios Spinosaurus and the 1/15 scale Indominus Rex. On my desk here, a number of things besides the family and friends. We have a Matrix screen and 3 Court of the Dead apples from Sideshow Collectibles. And I'm going to move back here. I have a few more horror pieces coming in, so I just want to outline those. I'm going to move these around a little bit, but just for the purpose of this video, PCS is coming out with a giant Pumpkinhead statue. Pumpkinhead is my favorite horror icon, so I'm really ecstatic to have that coming. So as we move over here, let's go to the DBZ. And I can't remember the name of the company that made this one. I believe it was a custom. But we have a Boo with Goku and Vegeta inside of his stomach. I'm not sure on the scale on this one. You can check out the video. I think I talk about that. We have a Broly. I think this is from Timon, the name of the company. And I've, due to the massive size, I've kind of displayed it a little bit differently here. We have a custom realistic Cell statue. Amazing piece. So not true to the anime, it has a few different display options, not only the hands, the portraits, but even the base. And probably my favorite of the DBZ is Boo right here. Again, a realistic take on him, very evil. And all these have light up features. Not every statue, but quite a few of these do. Then I'm going to space those out a little bit and put this Frieza right in the middle here. So this should be coming any month here. And again, another reason to subscribe to the channel. I will do a detailed video on anything that comes in. Down below, we're going to put probably that Boo from up top with Vegeta and Goku in his stomach. But then we have a Piccolo coming in. This has actually been shipped. So I'll probably put that where that Boo was. But then Prime 1 Studio Goku is coming in. And he will go right there. Down here, while it won't be an anime, we're going to put Eddie from XM Studio. I think it just fits well with the collection. Next to XM Studio, One Punch Man. Amazing anime. If you haven't checked it out, this guy has the awesomest personality in the world. That's why I have 2 statues of him. While those were 1/4 scale, so were all the Dragon Ball Z, this is 1/6 scale. So, the main character here of One Punch Man is just, he's going home with groceries and he kills everything, and guess how many punches? But awesome, awesome piece. Then from Devilman, another 1/6 scale piece. Sorry, this one was made by Sume, and this is made by a company called Figurama. While I'm not big into this anime, I think this statue just looks incredibly badass. It was the first statue that Figurama ever made, and now they're a huge powerhouse in the anime statue game. They also made this giant Attack on Titan piece, another awesome anime. You can see the giants going to town, fighting each other, and the destroyed city below. Then we have Evangelion. A little bit different twist from the anime, where you have the test type prototype, I think the 001, carrying one of the angels that it destroyed. I think it's a pool of blood back there as well. That's one problem with all these statues. There's some amazing, amazing pieces and parts that you don't always get to see. So as you move over here, I keep my tools on my windowsill. I use those a lot. Some daily reminders. I'm a big inspirational guy. I'm coming for everything they said I couldn't have. Just a reminder. And of course, one of the famous Rocky quotes that life ain't easy, it punches hard. And it's not about whether you get hit or not, it's how much you push to move forward. And no beer in the fridge because we're at work. So protein shakes and water. NBA Jam, I get to play about once a year. More tools and a bike for when I'm on conference calls on the TV here. Man, that looks like a YouTube channel. It's probably some awesome content right there. Then we move over to the Berserk section, and as we do, I notice one of the cables just fell, so this is going to drive me nuts. You see it in the back there? But we'll go over each of these pieces, kind of give you a presentation of the Berserk section here. I really want to do something with the top lighting here. I got to figure that out, something that'll be better. And then there's the anime. And I realized I forgot to cover Sume Vegeta down here. Often argued as the best Vegeta statue. I can't disagree. So a lot of Berserk pieces coming in. First, we'll start up at the left here. We have Zod in human form. These are all by Prime 1 Studio with one exception, and all 1/4 scale with one exception. This is an incredible piece. Then we have the God Hand, and the leader of it, Void. If you haven't gotten to Berserk yet, the statues actually got me into the story. It's an amazing story. Then Femto, who became part of the God Hand. We're going to put Slan right back there. That cord is driving me nuts. Now, Femto, who you saw over here, you're actually going to see the other form of Femto, Griffith, in a second. But down below, we're going to put Ubik, I believe how it's pronounced. I don't know how it's pronounced because I just read. And then Conrad will also go down there as well. So here we have Griffith, also by Prime 1 Studio. I like how it's next to Femto there. An absolutely crazy cool piece. And Casca is going to go right next to him, also from Prime 1 Studio. Now up top, I should have turned on the light up features. By Sume, so the same people that made some of the DBZ pieces and the One Punch Man piece. This is a diorama of Zod, and if you're unfamiliar with the character, this giant beast is that guy. Same exact thing. This is him in his apostle form. He usually has wings as well. And Griffith, who we just saw below this, is fighting in the back. And then this is Guts, the main character of the story, who is also in 1/4 scale, because that was 1/6 scale. This is 1/4. Same character down here. Next to his best friend, Puck. Then we have another version of Guts right here in his Berserk armor, next to his dog that has a cannon coming out of its mouth. Now, on top of that, I have some of the curtains I use for the shelving here, but one of their biggest pieces, which is already shipped, is their Skull Knight on horse, which will actually go right here. Very much look forward to bringing that review to you guys. So as we move over, we have a Spawn display going on. So this is a custom, this is actually a prototype, Curse of the Spawn. Absolutely badass piece. One of my favorites. And there's some portrait displays for him. And right behind him, you have his enemy. Now here is another version of that same statue below. Again, custom, it's a private unlicensed commission. Next to him, the Darkness. So this is from XM Studios, just an amazing comic character. Now I plan to move the Violator statue, his enemy, back here, which you also saw on the bases. I plan to move him down here at the back, and then I'll have this custom Spawn, which ships very, very soon as well. So there's a look of the Spawn. So it's a transition kind of from anime over to Spawn. So we get into the comics a little bit, and then full into Marvel here, starting with Spider-Man and his enemies. So at the top, we have XM Studios Vulture. Again, another statue with some cool display options. Sometimes I leave the display options down below here. Sometimes they're in a box, it just depends. This custom Hobgoblin is one of my favorites. Absolute badass piece. These are all 1/4 scale. I think everything we've looked at other than that Berserk diorama is. Then you have Demo Goblin or Demo Goblin. An actual twisted version of the Goblin family. Also on a glider, actually made of fire. And of course, we transition over to another custom, the Green Goblin. I think this is a totally underrated piece. Actually has 2 different busts. So he just threw the bomb, it looks like it's floating through air. Then we'll make our way back down here. Now a lot of people ask, how much do these cost? So while I talk about that in each review, but they're quite pricey each. We have Mysterio, comic version by XM Studio. These next few are from XM Studio. You have Lizardman. Big underrated piece right here. We have Doc Ock. One of the first ones they announced, and it took them forever to come out, years. I think we waited 3 years for this. As we move down lower, so I like to get CGC slabs of just comic covers I like. This one's not very valuable, but has Spider-Man and his villains. So here we have a Doppelganger, custom. Same people who made those custom Goblins, at least 2 of them. Then a custom Morbius. I was a big Morbius fan growing up, so I'm really excited to see the movie. I think it'll be great. This guy has some awesome portraits. As we move over, we have the other bust or upper torso of that Green Goblin. Took off his mask. XM Studios Electro. You have a comic portrait right there, and then kind of a more modernized one. They have their Sandman by XM Studio. Again, I have reviews of each of these pieces, so make sure to go check those out. Then we're going to move into the spider characters here. So I do have a custom Venom vs. Spider-Man or Spider-Man vs. Venom piece that I'll make some room for here. And we'll dive in starting with Sideshows Spider-Man. So this is their old comiquette. I still think it's pretty hard to beat. Iron Studios made this one, Far From Home. It's from the Far From Home movie. The end where he's fighting Mysterio's illusions. This custom black symbiote with Shocker is pretty cool on a huge bell tower behind it. Up top here, we have a Mvc Spider-Man that some crazy people really want. Then we move into the Spider-Verse. So we have Spider-Ham. This is a custom hanging off the wall. And so was this one. This was a custom. So was the symbiote before it. Then you have XM Studio Gwen hanging up on a pole back there, Spider-Gwen. Miles Morales by Sideshow Collectibles with a big Venom down there. And a custom hanging Spider-Man. Kind of your normal traditional Spider-Man. Now I have another half Venom, half Spider-Man piece. I don't know if I'm going to put it here or I'm going to put it in my symbiote collection, which we're going to look at right now. But here is another view of the Spider-Man setup. And I am filming this late at night, so that's one reason it's so dark. As we dive into the Venom, I've kind of separated it where the left half is Eddie Brock Venoms and the right half is other symbiote-related stuff with a few exceptions. So we have a custom symbiote Spider-Man bust. Now the awesome part about this statue, I can't even show you, but on the sides and back of it, it actually has comics etched into it, so it's pretty cool. I need to get a mirror back there with a light or something of that nature. So this is a life-size bust. It's the same size as a normal human head. We have Sideshow's Venom next to it. Now recently Queen Studios released an amazing life-size Venom. Now I talked about that on the extremechannel.com. I do daily blogs and weekly newsletters, so make sure to check that out. Next to him is going to go a custom Carnage head. Very excited for that piece. And this is made by Jack of the Dust, a Venom skull. So for now, over here are some symbiote pieces, and I have some King in Black CGCs. I love Null, I love King in Black. So there's one right there. There's another one right here. You have XM Studios Venom Symbiote right here. This is 1/4 scale. It's allegedly a bust, but I kind of think of it as a symbiote. We have a custom 1/4 scale Peter Parker symbiote. Then we have a Venomized Gwen right here. Or I'm sorry, Venomized Mary Jane. And she is based off a comic slab cover, so someday I'll probably pick that up and put it right next to her. Then below them, we have the king, or the god of the symbiotes, Null. One of my favorite pieces in this collection. It's newer. So he is the god of the symbiotes. Different portraits on this. This throne is kind of based off this slab cover right here. Those pieces are actually for member-only giveaways. If you want to know what the membership's about, go ahead and hit the join button or look at the link in the description below. But people get different content, early access, they get giveaways that you guys don't get, behind the scenes, vlogs, stuff like that. So we're looking at 2 more Venomized characters. And if you're like, why are all these characters Venomized? Well, a few years ago, Donny Cates came out with a new storyline regarding Venom that led up to the King in Black series, which is Null here. But here is Venomized Hulk from Absolute Carnage. Now I bought this before I even read Absolute Carnage, but it's badass either way. So this is obviously Hulk with a Venom suit on, or a symbiote on. It's not officially Venom, but here we have Deadpool. And again, a Venomized Deadpool. This is an amazing piece, and look at all the awesome portraits with it. Pretty cool. And on that same theme, while they're not Venomized, I have Venom versus Deadpool, or Deadpool versus Venoms below. And these last 5, 6 statues were all custom. Everything from Noel was. We have a Hulk versus Venom right here. And then a CGC cover that an awesome member of the channel, Joe, sent to me. Really appreciate that, of Venom versus Hulk. Down here, we have our Carnage display. So the first on the right is XM Studio. I think a terribly underrated piece, but awesome nonetheless. We have a Carnage Black, White, and Blood CGC, and then a custom. So a private unlicensed commission. Again, videos on all these if you want to check them out. I have a few more Carnage statues coming in. I have this one right here. This is a custom. And then I have Sideshows on order. So all 4 of those will go down here. Now eventually I'll be moving a lot of these symbiotes down here next to Noel. I think they properly belong there. And eventually I'm going to replace this Noel with this custom Noel right here. And I'll have a few more symbiote pieces coming up here. Here is a Mary Jane and Gwen Dio, and you can display them either in their natural form or Venomized. And believe it or not, there will be a Venomized Batman. This custom piece right here. Then we move to the Eddie Brock. So first we have Prime 1 Studio Venom. I think this is currently the best one in my collection, followed closely by another. Again, everything's 1/4 scale, a custom right here. Kind of a different version. You know, with Venom, you have creature-esque, you have humanoid Venoms. This is a custom right here, Maniac Venom. Then down below, we have my second favorite Venom, I think. Another custom. And all these Venoms, as you can see, they have multiple portraits, so you can display a lot of different ways, which is cool. Now next to him, you see the CGC cover right here. I'm putting a statue based off that slab. This guy right here. And as we move down, another custom coming out of the wall. Another slab. And then another custom. Way oversized. He's supposed to be 1/4 scale. We have a custom Marvel vs. Capcom Venom. Blue variant. I think there's only 7 or 11 of these in the world. One of my favorites. An Anti-Venom. So this was a story where Eddie Brock had cancer. Very small run. This is made by Prime 1 Studio. We have a custom over here. Awesome transformation portrait. Then another slab where Venom got the Infinity Gauntlet. I believe this is a Donny Cates as well. And this guy has a whole bunch of switch outs so he can match the cover, or he can do a few different things with him. Here he has a mohawk holding Thor's hammer and flipping you off with the Infinity Gauntlet. Now I plan to move these apart because I have this custom piece right here coming. And then some more Eddie Brocks up top. XM Studio made this one. This was the first Venom statue I got, I believe. And I think it's definitely the first one that did the transformation portrait. Another top 5 here. Custom one leaning over a building. And this has some different switch out options where you can actually raise the arms up and it's like it's jumping off. And then we call this one Bug Eater. The lighting's really bad over here, unfortunately. It doesn't give this guy justice where he's killing Spider-Man. And then you have a bust display with some of the extra portraits. So that is the Venom display. One of my favorites, one of my favorite characters. There's a few people out there that do have a little bit better Venom display than I do, but I'm very happy with this because there are 2 more coming. The first one is this dynamic Venom that'll go right down here. And I believe this ships in the next month or 2. And then up top where the Sentinel is, I'm going to put this giant Venom statue with wings. And again, when did Venom have wings? Well, that was in the Absolute Carnage event. But for now, we have Iron Studios Sentinel, kind of just a temporary placeholder. If you're a follower of the channel, you know that I recently got this, and I don't know if I want to keep it or not. But it looks good here, but I need this space for Venom down the road. That winged one's probably still a year out, so trying to figure out what to do with that. But then we move over here to my Alien Predator setup, which there's lots of empty spots here, so I'm excited about that. Starting at the bottom, we have Sideshow Collectibles, and these are actually going to be part of a giveaway down the road with the channel. You have Alien King, Alien Queen maquettes. Now these aren't to a specified scale, but I think they're about 1/6 scale. And then I have a 1/6 diorama right behind them. They fit really well down here. Above this, you have the power loader. So this is from HCG. I've removed the base. This is cool, but eventually it will go. I'll sell it because it looks nothing cool compared to the pieces next to it, like this Scorpion Alien from Prime 1 Studios. So this is actually based off the Dark Horse comics, because aliens are very prevalent, so is Predator in the comics, as well as cinematic film. So this next one isn't based off the comics or the movies, it's XM Studios' own interpretation. Now this is 1/3 scale, where the one you just looked at is about 1/6. The nice thing about these alien pieces, mixing the 1/3 and 1/4 scale, pardon me. This one is 1/4 scale, pardon me. The difference is kind of negligible. So right next to it, you have from Prime 1 Studio, from Alien 3, one of the worst Alien movies. Well, I can't say that because they're making a bunch of bad ones nowadays, but this is one of my favorites, probably the best at this current time. Next to him, Sideshow made a life-size Pred Alien bust. This is an awesome, awesome piece. I haven't reviewed this one. I should. It's just so difficult to move. And I don't know if I'm keeping this, and if I do sell it, it's way, way down the road. So please don't message me. Just subscribe to the channel because I sell everything through here. And Cool Props made this Celtic alien mask. Has a cool light up feature. But eventually what's going to go up here is we're putting Prime 1 Studio 1/3 scale Jungle Hunter Predator. So I plan to put him on the left, and I'm hoping someday I can nab the big chap also from Prime 1 Studio that just shipped. I missed out on it, but I'm on a few wait lists, so we'll see if that happens. So the whole theme is kind of to do movies on top. So I'm gonna go over the top for the rest of it, and then comic kind of on the bottom. That's where you see Sideshows. It doesn't have a true scale, it's legendary scale, but it's 1/3 scale, so it's the same as everything else on top. Wolf Predator. Very dynamic piece. And with all my Predator statues, for the most part, with 1 or 2 exceptions, I like to display the unmasked portrait and then the masked portrait on the bust display below it. So eventually, this guy will probably move over here if I can't get the big chap, which I don't think I will, and we'll have the Assassin Predator from the Fugitive Predator movie go right here. Because I already have the Fugitive Predator by Prime 1 Studio, which is also who makes that Assassin. So they're gonna be fantastic looking next to each other. While I'm not a huge fan of the movie, it's entertaining, I'm a huge fan of these statues and the characters. So over here by Prime 1 Studio, we have this City Hunter Predator. This is where I like to display the masked version better. This is by Prime 1 Studio. So these last few were 1/4 scale, even though I think they're a little overscaled. Now next to him, I put a video on TikTok of these Predator statues, and it went a little viral, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views, but everyone questioned why I have this Kylo Ren mask. It usually hangs up back there. This is my COVID mask. So when I leave my office to go to other places, I put that on. It does the job. But right here, we're gonna have from Infinity Studios, Berserk Predator Diorama will go right here. This is 1/4 scale, so I think it'll fit well. Then below, by Prime 1 Studio, 1/4 scale, we have their Jungle Hunter Predator. Amazing piece, tons of awesome switch outs, and of course, the companion piece next to it, the Skin Human Being. These are really cool videos, so make sure to check those out. And I have a little area for some extra portraits down there. This is also by Prime 1 Studios. This is their Big Game Predator. from Dark Horse Comics. Now, I need to figure out a way to fashion, because I'm getting their Ahab, which I plan to put either somewhere here, maybe above, but this guy doesn't come out for another year or so, so I'll figure it out then. Then I have a custom, so unlicensed, Predator on Throne. And this one's really cool. The throne is actually made up of alien heads, even the queen head in the back. And then the bust displays over here. So I'll probably put those below when I try and work out how Ahab's gonna fit. XM Studios 1/3 scale Predator on Throne. This is their King Predator, my newest acquisition to this line. I love it. Some cool display options. There's a portrait switch out down there. And then we're gonna end the entire tour with this custom 1/3 scale Alien vs. Predator piece. Very dynamic, very big, very crazy. And kind of another look over here at the Predator Alien wall. So again, check out a lot of the links in the description below. There's a link to the video that talks about the shelving that I use. There's links to my social media if you want to know what the membership's about. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in for this. Like I said, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that picture of me. Leave a comment below because it can win you a statue. And I will talk to you guys soon because I launch content at least every other day. Take care.